The man had just tried to rush forward to save his family, but the next second, he was knocked down with a club. Several policemen pinned him hard to the ground. Helpless, his family had no choice but to walk out of the house, allowing those men to tear down the home they depended on to survive. At that moment, the furious child suddenly lunged at a nearby officer, but the policeman shot him dead on the spot. Jack was powerless, unable to move. He could only watch it all happen before his eyes. His gaze burned with rage, as if he wished to slaughter every last cop standing before him. Just a few days earlier, Jack had returned home after retiring from the army, only to find his house had turned into a pigsty. Confused, he asked the man feeding pigs nearby. The man told him that Jack's mother had died of illness years ago, and his younger brother had been executed for assaulting the police. At that moment, a woman suddenly walked over. The man's face changed instantly. He quickly turned around and fled in panic. That woman turned out to be Jack's sister-in-law, whom he had never met before. From her, Jack finally learned the truth. While Jack was away serving in the army, a local landlord had taken a liking to his family's land. He wanted to drive Jack's family away through forced demolition. Jack's brother tried to protect the house and clashed with the corrupt police who had been bribed. The landlord seized the chance, bribed the judge and others, and had Jack's brother executed under the charge of assaulting police. From then on, Jack's mother and sister-in-law's family were left homeless. Eventually, his mother died alone in the wilderness. His sister-in-law barely survived, finding refuge in a deserted shack at the edge of the village. And the man feeding pigs earlier was in fact one of the landlord's lackeys. After learning the truth, Jack was furious, but as a soldier he knew ordinary people could never fight against powerful landlords and officials. So he gave his sister-in-law the last of his rations, letting her family have a full meal. Then he prepared to take them away from that place. But fate was cruel. The next day, Jack went to his mother's grave to pay respects. He planned to leave with his family afterward, but when he returned, he found the shack where they were staying had been surrounded by the landlord's men. They were trying to force his sister-in-law's family out. When no one inside responded, they decided to tear the roof apart. Seeing this, Jack rushed forward to stop them, but a corrupt cop ambushed him, forcing him to the ground and holding him down. Hearing the noise outside, his sister-in-law had no choice but to step out of the house. But his nephew, acting out of anger, lost his life in that very moment. Taken back to the police station, Jack was consumed by fury. The arrogant sheriff toyed with his military knife, a symbol of honor, mocking Jack to his face. He said he didn't care at all about Jack's sister-in-law and her family, that their lives meant nothing more than those of worthless peasants. Hearing this, Jack's rage finally exploded. He struck back in an instant, taking down every last corrupt officer in the station. Then he set fire to that place of evil, burning it to the ground. Afterward, he rushed home overnight, intending to take his sister-in-law and escape far away. But when he arrived, he was met with tragedy. Because the roof had been torn apart, his sister-in-law and her family had already frozen to death. This time, the rage completely shattered his sanity. Jack swore that every bastard who had harmed his family would pay a terrible price.